What's up? It's your girl Shaded right here on Straight Out the Trunk Radio. We got another wonderful episode right here. We got our special guest right here, Milli Banks in the building,
good.
Straight from LA.
You feel me?
For the Streets is out right now. Make sure y'all go stream that. Go ahead and talk to us a little bit about For the Streets, because I also want to talk about that you dropped that on Valentine's Day. I noticed that. So,
Yeah.
are we? Is this a message to the fellas? Like, don't try it. You for the streets, because they always trying to say the ladies are for the streets. So tell us what the messaging is on that.
I most definitely dropped that on purpose on Valentine's Day, because most of the time you have dudes that go around, you thinking ladies is getting prepared for Valentine's Day. You think you finna have something so special. Then you found out he preparing for you, Keisha, Nicole, and probably the nigga a few blocks down the way. So just remember, most of the time these niggas really be for the streets. You feel me? So don't get caught up. He for the streets. So I dropped it on Valentine's Day on purpose, because most of the time that's when they finding out. So yeah.
Okay.
So it's a warning, and it's a lethal weapon. I hope a lot of people got sent that song too.
Okay. I feel that. I like that you kind of flipped it on the lady side, that it was like a women empowerment kind of situation, to be able to take that power back, you know, because niggas is for the streets too.
Basically.
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. And you have another single out right now, What's the Problem? And I think that was out, but you took it down. But is it available for people to stream?
Yeah. So I'm actually re-dropping that actually today.
Okay.
Feel me? Yeah,
today.
yeah.
Okay.
So I just wanted to make some adjustments, because niggas always want to be a motherfucking problem. And I just ran into a little bit of encounters, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? So What's the Problem basically came from, you know, when you try to go to the studio, you try to keep it professional. And most of the time it's because when you're a female and you're trying to keep it professional with some male producers, it's always a problem. You know what I'm saying? My money should talk more than my body or my looks or something like that. I don't care if you're trying to give me something for free. Like, nigga, how much? What is the motherfucking price? Like, what's the problem? Take the money.
Right.
Shit, do that. You know?
Yeah, no, I think I think a lot of times in those situations a lot of women have used what they look like to get certain things. And I think it sounds like you on your boss shit.
Yeah, that ain't me.
You hustling, you know, and we gonna get into that first hustle as well. But you hustling, you don't need it. So you coming in like, what's the price? I got it. Let's do business.
Yeah, period.
So I think they're used to, you know, women needed them, and they can come in and manipulate that and use it for, you know, certain things that aren't business like.
Yeah, not here.
Absolutely. Okay. So as far as that hustling, going into that, you have several businesses as well, correct?
Yeah.
So a few of those businesses, I think you got the Slay Depot. Yeah. Correct? Okay. Yeah. So that's where we come and get our
every
our
girl's
hair,
fantasy from head to toe.
Everything. So tell us what encompasses the Slay Depot.
Yeah. The Slay Depot, basically I sell wigs. I have flat irons. My flat irons actually vibrate.
Ooh,
that don't mean you could put it in your special flat iron.
Come on now. Okay, all right.
Yeah, so my flat irons vibrate. Basically, I'm getting ready to drop a lingerie line to add it.
Come on.
And just so I won't forget about the fellas, I actually got something called Sticky Boss.
Okay.
Yeah, so, you know, y'all get a little sticky down there. You want to keep your man fresh, ladies. Okay. You can go ahead. I got some nice refresher that they could put down there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Coming from the gym,
fellas,
on the way to the gym.
Keep your balls fresh.
Keep them fresh.
If you want to keep your balls fresh, Milli Banks got something for you. Okay,
right, exactly. So, but every girl's fantasy. And I'm getting ready to make some man baskets, because I also noticed, like, around Father's Day, you don't really see a lot of stuff. So I want women, and I actually gave one of my friends a gift for their birthday, and I just got a basket, filled it up, and he was very appreciative of that. That's so amazing. What I want to do is I want to actually have stuff that you can actually give yo man. They can't be for the streets though, okay? Buying, don't come to my website for street nigga shit. All right, this ain't it.
Yeah, no, these are for the special niggas, reserved for the special niggas only, not for the streets nigga or the niggas that are problems.
Special, not special, all right?
Special, not special, absolutely. So you into a lot of businesses. You talking about the hair, you talking about the sex toys. So how did we get into hustling? What was your first hustle ever? Actually, what's crazy is, when I was younger, we used to actually go to the store in the beginning. I used to actually go to Rouse right there on Manchester and Western. Oh, okay. I used to go there. I used to buy a bunch of candy. And then when I got to Horseman,
when I was in junior high school, I used to sell my candy. I used to sell pickles with the Kool-Aid, Spanish candy or whatever. Then when I got to Crenshaw, I was selling candy. And the dean used to come and take the dean would come and take our candy or whatever like that. So
yeah, I remember
that
those
was
candy
crazy.
days. Yeah, I used to buy the bags and the candy and the pickle with the Kool-Aid. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was real good. Yeah, so always been a hustler. You know, I've been taking care of myself since I was 14 years old. So I had to do a lot of things, but I'm very proud that I'm still here. I'm still standing.
Absolutely, definitely. That's definitely an amazing story for sure, especially to be on your own for that long. It's easy to find other paths and fall, you know, to the wayside, if you will. So I know you said that you grew up in LA. I heard Horseman, Crenshaw, and whatnot, but you got some ties to New York as well, correct?
Yeah.
And that goes into some of the influences I think I saw that you got.
Yeah.
Talk to us about, I think Biggie was one of them.
Yeah,
tell us a few.
Most definitely. So 50, Biggie, how I ended up in New York, I didn't get there through music though. It was more of like a deeper type.
Got you. Yeah.
If you want me to share.
Yeah, no, we gonna circle into that, you know, but we'll just talk about the music influences.
So 50 really, really inspired me because overall he is like a mogul when it comes to music and everything. So he got his music, he's doing his TV, his clothes, everything. So just really watching him and really paying attention. And now what I'm seeing, what he's doing with his series and TV shows as well, like he just bought a big old building so that way he could start filming his own stuff. So really inspired. Biggie, that's like my heart right there because we used to read Word Up magazine. Drink champagne when we thirsty. Hey, so that always reflected to me because I knew that when I didn't have nothing to eat or when I was struggling, I knew one day, I'm gonna be sipping and pouring champagne all through the trenches.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And I think that says a lot about your mental fortitude and just for you to be able to, because when you're in the trenches, like you said, it's hard to see anything better. It's hard to not look out the window and be like, this is just what it's going to be forever. You know, so that's amazing that you were able to just continue to push and continue to go and grind because it's easy to just be like, this is it.
I always say you either going to sink or you going to swim. You're going to get knocked out or you're going to take a punch and keep going.
That's a fact.
So what you going to do? You know what I'm saying? So I get a lot of my mindset. I follow a lot of male motivational speakers and every day I'll listen to them. So I'm always being coached. So that's why my mindset, like I think I'm always thinking further. I always got that leader hat on.
Oh, that's amazing. That's good. If you don't train your mind, something else will. So that's amazing that you understand that. So as far as your story and, you know, like you said, you going through the trenches, what's one of the biggest things that you've overcome that you can think of?
So
we're probably going to get into that story now, right? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, for a while, it took a while for me. Like I held back a lot from speaking on a lot of things because you have a lot of people that judge. You have a lot of people that feel like you deserve to go through some certain things, or and it's a lot of people that don't believe in it. But when I was 16 years old, it was unfortunate that a man convinced me over the internet to go to New York. So I was subject to human trafficking. So I was human trafficked for about 6 years where I had to be forced to do a lot of things that I didn't want to do.
And you don't look like it.
Exactly. You know? So, you know, just getting beat on, getting left in the streets in New York from like, you going out there at 8 at night, you coming back at 11 o'clock in the morning. If you ain't making a certain amount, you subject to getting beat on again. And my family didn't look for me. They didn't come for me. I didn't have my dad come reach out. Nobody called the police. They wasn't looking for me. So I thank God that I'm still here. I'm still here for a reason. And the guy that did have me, I mean, he probably in wreck or some fucking where. But at the end of the day,
at this point,
and a lot of people don't think that human trafficking is real, or they don't think it can happen. Or I know here, LA, like a lot of girls, they do what they have to do, but when you're actually taken in and you're forced into it, it's a way different. You get brainwashed, and then eventually your mind starts thinking like, oh, okay, I guess this is just where I'm supposed to be because nobody is actually coming for you. And I had to actually come up with a plan to get myself the fuck out of that situation. And it took a lot of years of healing and therapy, church and meditating just to protect myself and get a whole lot better before I even dedicated myself to go back into music.
So real quick, I want you to look into the camera. if there's some girl out there who happens to just watch this interview at some point and they're going through something and they're trying to find the strength to get out of a situation, what do you have to say?
For me, I always say, like, you gotta step inside. You gotta step inside of yourself and think, like, mentally think about your younger self, because at the end of the day, the only person that's gonna give you your best life is you. And when it comes to like being around pimps, and I know it's basically a cuss word, but when it comes around being around pimps and hoes, you're gonna have hoes trying to tell you you're in the right place. You're going to have pimps trying to tell you you're in the right place. But at the end of the day, you got to think about you and you got to get out of that situation. So for me, when I had to realize that my family wasn't coming for me, nobody was coming for me, but I'm still a child of God. And God gave me that strength to move on no matter what they say. God is going to always give you the strength to move on, and he going to push you forward exactly where you're supposed to be. So don't ever be afraid of walking away.
That's what I'm talking about. I appreciate you for that message. And I mean, if it finds somebody who's in the time of need, you know, that's what this is about more than anything.
Therapy is also important.
Therapy is very important. I'm glad you dropped that gem, and I'm glad that we're in a space too in this era and time in the world that, you know, Black people are embracing therapy a lot more, and it's just not a white people thing. Right. Trying to, you know, we just hold it in, just smoke a blunt, go drink something. You know, that's just oppression. And so I think that's just amazing that, like I said, it speaks to your mental fortitude for you to be able to find a place in your mind, no matter how big or small it is, in a crazy situation. Because somebody's gonna watch this interview and look at you and be like, "You went through what? Excuse me?" And you look like, you know, you've seen people who went through less and look worse. Yeah, exactly. So you know, the saying that goes like, I'm not what I don't look like what I've been through. Yeah, exactly. Like, and you are a testament to that. So that's amazing that you continue to keep going. Definitely. Yeah, because usually you'll find a lot of women that end up on drugs, or they struggling, they smoking this, they popping this, they doing that, anything to try to go into that to heal. But all you doing is putting a Band-Aid on a scar that's never gonna heal. Yeah, you got to heal from the inside. Absolutely, inside out first. Like you said, God is always there for you. You worth it. You got to believe that first. Absolutely. So going through all that, and I know that you had done poetry in high school, and you know, when you're young, and then also shout out to you. You authored and produced or published 2 poetry books, right? They're available on Amazon. Right. Go get those poetry books. Okay. Hey, come on. We gotta put it out there. So, how do you go from a crazy story like that, being on my own since I was 14, getting convinced by, you know, a predator ultimately to move across the country, manipulate you for so long, and then we get into being an author, having our own business, starting music. How do we get into poetry, publishing a book, and then starting music? With me, I felt like, I'm like, wow, you know, God gave me so many different talents and so many things I could do. So like, I just can't give up. And then I always think about it, like when we pass away and you die and you stand before God, what are you going to say? I want to be able to say I used everything that you gave me. And the more that I put my pain or anything that I'm going through into books and into my poetry, it's actually healing. And then once I was able to put it on Amazon and I start speaking and delivering and performing it, it actually heals me even more. So I got into publishing my books. I published 2. So my favorite one is Broken Pieces, you know, but when you start reading a book, you see why everything starts coming back together. Yeah, so I got into that. And when it comes to other businesses, especially with like my hair and everything, I kept spending money on other people. So why am I going to pay you $800 or $500 when I could just have my own vendor? And I'm really, really good at doing hair. I have over 300 clients right now while I'm still doing music. So it's very good. You know what I'm saying? So you can't settle for less when somebody's giving you something or with yourself. So I'm always going to persevere and push myself forward. Okay, absolutely. No, that's amazing. And I know that one of your influences is Nipsey Hussle as well. And it sounds like you got a lot of his influences business-wise, too, because you got a lot of things coming in from different ways. You're not just leaning on the music lane to bring all the money in, and that's because that's not sustainable. Yeah, it ain't sustainable, and it won't be fair to me, and it won't be fair to y'all, because I'm trying to do everything for the people. It's not about me just trying to get rich and have a whole bunch of money. It's like, if I pull in this business and I make money from here, then I can go take care of all these families. Or like, I just got back from Atlanta shooting. I went there and fed the homeless. I'm not even from there. But for me to be able to have
the ability and the materials and the money to go and do that, it was a blessing. Like, I was shocked and I was sad that I actually ran out of stuff to give out.
Yeah.
Man, and we think we got it bad here, but it was like babies running up to me. Like, it's sad, but greatness in the making, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's why, another reason why your cup is always full, because you continuously give to others without, it seems like just with very freely.
Yeah.
Because what you've been through but it's easy to kind of get in that mindset of like, well, I got to make it and survive. Like, so no, this is mine. I've been there before. Fuck that. I made it, so that's amazing that you still look back and still give to others.
Yeah. The most selfish thing you could do is have something to heal or help somebody else in life and not do it.
That's deep. Yeah. That's deep. I mean, but I think that's easy, especially with the era of social media. It's easy to get selfish. It's easy to like, well, this is me. I'm trying to make it, forget everybody else. Don't worry about all that.
Yeah.
So as far as you were talking about your mental and what you do to keep yourself positive and things like that, are there any daily affirmations or anything that you do daily to keep yourself at a high vibration and to feed your internal self?
Yeah, so in the morning I wake up, I listen to either Eric Thomas or Les Brown, Tony Robbins. TD Jakes has a lot of motivational.
Those are all great ones.
Yeah. Yep. Tyrese actually got some good ones too.
Okay, don't sleep on Tyrese.
Yep, don't sleep on him, man. I look in the mirror, I always say, like, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to take care of the world. I'm going to make changes. I start off with a lot of I ams. And at the end of my days, I usually take something that I learned and I turn it into a quote. Okay. Because something I'm actually working on right now, I'm writing a book called 365 Ways to Not Procrastinate and Manage Your Excuses. So when you open up the book, so when you open it, it's 365 ways. So pick one and learn from it and use that to start your day.
That's amazing. Yeah. You keep me updated on that.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to make sure I'll come back and give you a copy.
Yes, absolutely.
Personally.
Please do. Absolutely. You have to sign it for me and all that good stuff. Absolutely. That's amazing. I think that's great that you, number one, take a point in your morning to start and set the tone for your day, because if you're not setting the tone for your day, something else is, and it's usually something crazy. Somebody cut you off in traffic, somebody say something crazy. So it's usually something bad. And then I think that's amazing that you take time at the end of the day to really set the tone and like be grateful for, number one, getting through the day, two, for something that you learned as well. Because it's important to, number one, set the tone, like I said, at the beginning of the day, and then at the end, because your subconscious is always listening, thinking, building things to set that emotion while before you're about to sleep as well. Yeah,
and it's good. Like you brought up social media. One thing as well, my first hours a day, that's for me to prepare, and the ending is for me to rest. So I don't get on Facebook, Instagram, none of that my first hour, my last hour either. That's how you end up with nightmares, and then you think about all this other crazy shit.
No, that's true.
No, comparing yourself,
no, that's a fact. There's a book called The Morning Miracle that talks about like a morning success routine and how you go in the morning, meditate, work out, drink water, prepare your mind, feed it with something positive, and then you get on your phone. Then you check the emails and all those things, because once you start, it's a scroll. You just go, you just go. So it's easy to get lost in that. So as far as your story's concerned, you got a hell of a story. We only tapped into maybe like a millimeter of it. So as far as that story's concerned, who do you trust to tell that story for you?
For me, because I would want it to impact the entire world. I can't leave it to my granny because both my grannies passed away. Okay. But I would leave it with Tyler Perry.
Okay. Tyler Perry. Yes. Okay. You said Tyler Perry.
Yes. Okay. I would leave it with him.
You gonna trust him with the wigs and everything.
Everything.
You gonna have to make sure you get him. Get him a Slay Depot.
Exactly.
Yeah, we gotta. Cause
I would trust him to play like the role of my grandma. And man,
the role of the grandma, he gonna have that for sure. He got the role of the grandma for sure. He got that. No problem.
For sure.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope if we have that happen, that
hey, speaking into existence, I usually get everything I want.
That's what I'm talking about. And I mean, you set it in motion. You say it, you speak it, you think it, you believe it, and those things put together, that's a hell of a combination. We were talking about earlier off camera as far as record deals, independent versus having a record deal. Which one do you think is better, being an independent artist or having a record deal?
I feel like they can go hand in hand. Once you have a deal, I feel like it's other things that you can learn. Plus, you might have like a force, you might have a machine, you know what I'm saying, behind you that could put you on radios, other bigger platforms, and you're just with a way bigger audience. Versus with being independent, you're going to get there, but it's just going to be those steps. Sometimes with being independent, I'm learning that you make your mistakes first before you learn something. But with the label, it's not as so many mistakes because you're going through them, you're going through their people. Versus with me, whenever I want to work with someone now, somebody has to vouch for you first before I even get into anything. And I make a lot of people sign a lot of, contracts and stuff like that. That way I don't have any extra problems. So I wouldn't mind being with a label because I want to be able to be way more impactful, but the right one.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. That's important.
It's nothing 360 over here.
360s over here. That's I'm glad you know. Glad you know. Absolutely. So if you were hypothetically able to, get that from that right record label, what would you do with that, signing bonus, that advance?
I would reinvest it, starting with my city.
Come on.
I want to actually take a lot of the boys and girls clubs and I want to turn them into shelters for the youth, for people that's trying to get out of gangs. Some of the women and girls that I see on FIG, I want them to be able to have a home so that way they can look at somebody like me and know that I was in your footsteps before and you can also keep going. I was once involved in a lot of different activities too as well outside of being trafficked, but some people think that you have to be stuck in that circle. But it's a lot of things that you don't learn until you get older, like credit, how to start a business, how to build a resume, interview questions, stuff like that. So I want to be able to have a facility throughout our city and then in other cities as well. That's
amazing. That's amazing. Once again, giving back as always. So I'm going to ask actually 2 more questions before we get out of here. So to your younger self, if you were able to see her, meet her at some point, what would you say to her?
I wish I would have got out of that environment actually a lot faster. And now I'm learning that what someone say to you, especially sometimes males, is just a manipulation tactic. So like for somebody to keep telling you like, oh, I'm going to take you, I'll show you, I'm going to put your body right here. A lot of people say shit, but they're not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I wish I would have just left a lot sooner because you'll never be able to get your childhood back. I never was able to go to prom or nothing like that. And then also like, I'm still grateful and thanking myself for being strong. And
then that younger you will get to see. We get better, baby. Okay.
Yeah, every day.
Absolutely. Every day. So last question. Any person that you out of town, family, friends, they fly in 3 places that you have to take them. They want to go be taken around LA. They want to see 3 places. What places
that they want to go LA?
Or no, just that you think that they should see when it comes to LA. LA's so big. Certain people want to go in and out, different random places. Where do you think that, or where would you take them?
No matter what, I can't get away from it. Doolin's and Inglewood.
Okay. The Inglewood. Right. Okay, not the okay. You gotta specify.
One in Inglewood.
Okay.
Man, no matter what, I bet I might be going there today.
Okay.
Just know that.
Okay, fair enough.
So Doolin's and Inglewood for sure. I love going there. I love being in Hollywood.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
because one day I'm gonna walk by, I'm gonna see my name down there in one of them stars. So it's very inspirational to go there. And I love going to the beach. Manhattan. I love going to Manhattan. That's one of my favorites.
That's my favorite beach. Walking on the Strand, those $1 million homes. I'm like, yep, I don't mind. That was mine. I can have that.
And you'll be surprised. They have some of the best Mexican food.
Okay, they actually do have some really good Mexican food over there. Actually, yes, you would be surprised. Where the white people are, they got some good Mexican food. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the beach, Doolin's. Make sure you get you some Doolin's. Go to Hollywood, because that's your destination. Make sure you go there.
Yeah, that's true. Most people, tourists, want to go to Hollywood anyway. So you know, those are good 3 wonderful places. Absolutely. So,
different parts.
absolutely. all different parts. Absolutely. So thank you so much. We appreciate you for
pleasure.
this wonderful interview. Thank you so much for spending your time with us, sharing your story. That's so amazing. Make sure you talk to our people, let them know where they can find you, where they can get your music, what you are promoting, any upcoming events, anything like that.
Hey, you know what it is? It's Milli Banks for the record. You know what it is? South Central Los Angeles. Doing it for the people. You could reach out to me at It's Milli Banks. That's ITSMILLI Banks. Shout out to Only the Real. Upcoming events. Hey, you could catch me at the Arizona Hip Hop Festival, April 13th. It's going to be very big. At least 20,000 people or more are going to be there. It's sponsored by Drip. So make sure y'all get there, especially, I know all y'all people that like that green stuff, make sure you show up. April 3rd, I got something real special dropping for y'all. A lot of people have been telling me to put this out, so I'm going to go ahead and release it. Famous. It's coming out April 3rd. Appreciate y'all. Love.
Let's go. Straight on the Trunk Radio. Let's get it.